Welcome to ANZCRL's 1998 Indycar Championship. We've got a replay of round one at the streets of Long Beach, and joining us is Commander Cirrus. Welcome, Cirrus.
Hey guys, good to be here. Good to be calling this one alongside Woody.
Yeah, it should be a good one. So it's a little special treat here. Hopefully we can continue this on throughout the season. We'll see how we go. But definitely we'll have a quick look at the entry list because we had a good entry of 12 cars. Not everyone turned up in the entry list, obviously, because a few drivers have signed up for the series to obviously join us in the big one, which will be the Indy 500 at round five. And then a few ovals as well. So we've got some oval specialists there. There's Christopher Razor, and I think Old Diggs is another one that's looking to get into the ovals, as is Scar 666 in the Pac West Racing Mercedes. But if you want to run down through that might have turned up over the weekend for round one, Cirrus, if you've got the list there in front of you, we can go through some of the highlights of some of these liveries.
Yeah, we might as well go down through the qualifying order there. Let me just get those ones up there. I was just doing a quick test for the audio. So we had myself actually qualifying pole with a 107.0 in the number one target Chip Ganassi car. Nice red target livery. In second, we had Magic Mass by less than a tenth of a second in the number six Newman Haas Racing Swift Ford. Then we had Dado Racer and Detective on the second row of the grid. Dado in the 27 Team Cool Green Reynard Honda, and Detective in the number 11 Newman Haas Racing Swift Ford. On the third row, real quick, we had Dark Racing, Dark GR, the new name. Sorry, it's still getting used to. In the 26 Team Cool Green Reynard Honda with Ernst Van Gore in sixth place on the outside in the number 8 Team Rahal Reynard Ford. We look back to the fourth row of the group. We've got Brockbuster 29 and 7th alongside Stubbs Lachlan 4. Brockbuster in the... where is his name? I missed it. There it is. Number 10, Della Penna Motorsports Swift 009C. Actually, on the entry list, it might say Brock Harvey 29. And Stubbs Lachlan 4. He's in the All-American Races, number 36 Toyota. Only two of them on the grid tonight. The fifth row, 9th and 10th, Bo Kane and the number 2 Team Penske Racing Lola Ford, alongside Hyperden, my teammate in the number 12 Target Chip Ganassi Reynard Honda. And on the final row of the we've got yourself, Woody Lizard, in the 24. Oh, I can't even say that word. Arcia Wells Racing.
Yeah, I think it's Acero Wells. I'm not 100% sure, but we
Oh
might
yeah,
have
there
to
it
have
is.
Darky to confirm that one.
In the second of the Toyota engine cars tonight, with camo code in the number 3 Team Penske Lola Ford Cosworth.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's get straight into the action, Cirrus?
Sounds good.
So it looks like it's go at the green here, and we're looking at Magic Mass at this stage coming along, and it's Cirrus. You've got the lead into turn one here. Got a good start, but there's a lot going on here in the background.
Yep, managed to just get through there.
And Cirrus looks like he just hit the wall there. Oh, he's into
Magic Mass, that was.
Magic Mass into the wall, and we've got a pile up here, Cirrus.
Yes, those Dado and Magic into the fountain, and bit of contact there, and that checked the field up. It looks like we had what was it? I forgot his name.
Brockbuster, I think,
Detective
got caught
209.
up. Yeah, it looks
Detective
like
around the outside and Darky in behind them again. So they're falling towards the back of the field. Brockbuster, a big incident there too. But look who's come through there, Woody. Stubbs, Lachlan, Ernst, and Hyperden all come from the back half of the field to be third, fourth, and fifth at this stage of the race.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, with that, with Magic Mass having that little incident with Dado Racer, he was lucky to get through that fountain complex, but obviously, as you can see, Stubbs and Ernst come through, and Hyperden as well in that number 12, Chip Ganassi, your teammate.
That's right. He did a good job off start. Looks like Magic Mass is coming past him now on the main straight.
So Magic's got out of not getting any damage there. Oh, looks like Hyperden went straight into the fence there. So he's missed turn 1. We just missed that.
He's not the only one that took the what do you call it, the where you outbreak yourself. Actually, Stubbs Lachlan went in there as well. Dropped down to 6th place.
Yeah, wow. So it's all happening here, but he's got Darky right behind him as well. Now putting some pressure on.
I think we're going to have a pass for 3rd place here. Magic Mass, he's just gotten Ernst as well.
All right, so Magic on the fly. So he's lucky not to get out of much damage there. So the damage, we might just inform people that might be thinking why he hasn't lost much wings compared to what we saw with Brockbuster and Detective, who's still in the pits as well. So he's only just coming out of the pits now after a lengthy repair. So Magic Mass's teammate, both the Kmart Swifts getting involved, but we've got the damage scale set to full damage but at low. So you know, depending how they hit is what the damage scale they may get. But here's Stubbs trying to hold off a very keen Darky who was also involved in that turn 2 incident. Cirrus?
He's gone defensive, has Stubbs on the inside here, keeping Darky to go the long way, but he's a little bit vulnerable. Yeah, he checks in behind as they go through the fountain.
As we ride on board here with Darky, is trying to see what he can do to try and upset Stubbs up in front, position 6.
Rockbuster has finally made it back to the pit lane as well in that number 10 Della Penna Motorsport Swift Ford.
How good do the liveries look in here in game? Cirrus, obviously a livery pack. Oh no!
Oh!
Cameras just can't quite. Here he goes, does a lap around, a loop around, but he's got cars coming through, so he's done the right thing, holding brakes, waiting for the opportunity to get going again. Something that maybe Detective may need to think about as well. I think that he may be seeing the stewards after this race, Cirrus, with his redress there out of that incident. But hot blood, first race of the series, it's always going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Everyone's excited, and the formation of the start was pretty tightly packed as well, which sent all the cars into, well, most of the cars, especially the first 2 rows, side by side into turn 1, which means sorting themselves out by the fountain was going to be quite difficult.
Yeah, now Hyperden's looking very racy. He's pretty good with the open wheelers. We haven't seen him here at ANZCRL. He's great to have him back from way back in the Xbox days, and I believe he did really well in a few of those open wheel series we ran on Project Cars 2, Cirrus. So it's a good welcome back to Hyperden.
Be mistaken, but he did do a few rounds of the V8 Supercar series just gone. I specifically remember him running at Road Atlanta. Darky's made it to the pits as well.
Oh, he's just come out, so it must have been a quick repair.
It looks like Dado Racer, his teammate. Just, oh no, that was myself, sorry. Just got a little bit caught up behind the Darky, as Dado was caught up behind Detective 209.
Yeah, so Dado will be seeing black. He wouldn't like to see these Kmart Swift cars after turn 1, but as I said, he was just in front and got out of trouble. So it was, you know, nicely for Dado up into 2nd position. He'll be loving this at the moment.
The thing is, Darky's come out on the cold tyres and Detective's tyres are warm. This is for position here. And Dado Racer just trying to find a way past. Looks like Dark's pulled out. He's made a good call. Not unable to battle with those cold tyres on his outlap. Whereas Detectives, he's 4 laps old now. That's if he took tyres at his stop.
Yeah, so just up in front of this is yourself. So here you go. Here, Cirrus taking up to lap 6 now.
Yep, Cirrus leads from Dado Racer back there in 2nd, and Magic Mass, he's on the hunt. As you see, he did a 109.0 on his last lap. As Cirrus, myself and Dado a little bit held up last lap. there's the other target chip Ganassi car, Hyperden and Bocane battling it out. How many times throughout history have we seen the two, the Ganassi and the Penske cars gunning for the championship?
Yeah, exactly. Reliving it right now at this stage. So it's a great little battle here for those guys, and good to see that the history's repeating themselves. So at the moment, there's myself, Woody Lizard, chasing down Ernst Van Gore.
Stubbsy's keeping you pretty honest as well. He's just in the background.
Yeah, Stubbsy's doing a good job. First time in these open wheelers. He was just starting to get used to the V8 supercars in the last series, and now he's into these high horsepower turbo machines.
In the oh, something's happened to Stubbs actually. I thought I saw him go deep, and I'm just looking at the timing tower. It has dropped back. Oh, damn. He's fallen right back to the clutches of Hyperden and Bocane.
Oh, he's got a lap traffic in front of him too of Brockbuster.
Lockie Stubbs, he did the last quarter, last third of the Monaco Grand Prix without only, I forget what gear he was stuck in, but it was stuck.
Yeah, fifth gear, I think it was. Yeah, so he did really well to finish Monaco, or fourth gear or something like that. So, yeah, he did an amazing job.
And now we've got some clean air at the front. You look at those lap times by the top three. 109.8, 109.9, 110 flat. We've got Detective 198 as well, and he's in that group. He's up to 9th already after pitting on the first lap.
Magic Mass, the fastest person on the previous lap there with a 109.162. So he's slowly reeling in this gap now, only 6 seconds off the lead. So he's on a big mission.
That's Dado. Oh, sorry, no, that must have been Darky. I just saw the car behind Magic go straight on there.
Well, it sure did, because we picked it up here with Darky without the front nose cone.
He found the wall at turn 1.
Very tricky circuit here around Long Beach, and the drivers are, really experiencing the challenge around this concrete jungle.
I can see Bocane has just gotten Hyperden as well. I saw that change on the timing tower as well. So we're watching Woody Lizard chase down Ernst Van Gore. The team were pretty concerned, the Rahal team, about their engine. They've actually turned it down quite a bit, which is affecting his lap times a little bit.
Yeah, as you can see.
But he finds himself in 4th place.
Yeah, he's doing a really good drive, Ernst Van Gore. He's only new to ANZCRL.
He's already got a podium, Woody.
Yeah, that's it. First time out in the Monaco. Got himself 3rd at Monaco, as you said. The race that you took out this year, which actually second this year, sorry.
No, unfortunately I was the bridesmaid this year. As Woody closes up under the brakes, you can just see the differences in top speed there from that turbo tuned down on that Shell liveried Ford.
Yeah, definitely. There was a difference there. I believe I had my turbo wound to 90%.
We've got a couple of cars in the pits. Again, Darky getting that damage and camo code and a number. Oh, he's lost his rear wing.
Yeah, so he sort of doesn't look like, it looks like he's crabbing a little bit too at the same time, but it could be just how the game is on the camber of the road coming into pit lane. But that looks like a mean car without the wing, doesn't it?
It looks like a handful.
So off goes Darky again. Quick repairs, off he goes. 130 kilometres an hour during pit lane. So we've got Magic Mass now starting to get onto the back of Dado. Well, Ernst Van Gore is still just, as you said, just protecting his engine with a less turbo, with each time down the starting straight, Woody making ground. Looks like he's a little bit faster through here as well at the moment.
How about we go on to an onboard of Woody Lizard behind the rear wing of Ernst Van Gore. It looks like some lap traffic ahead too. That's Dark Racing 40 on the cold tyres of his outlap.
Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle with the cold tyres.
Oh, yeah. Just close up under the braking and in the down the straight.
Yeah, it's a tricky corner to try and get right. If you just come in a little bit too hot, you find it hard to get the rotation.
Oh yes, you have to have that car, yeah, slow down before the turn in or you're going straight. Oh,
So
you let you pass there.
No, I think that was just to do with the turbo. That's and the draft as well, I think, really helped. Got a good run out of that final corner this lap around, lap 11. You just see on the lap time there, I did a 111.7 compared to his 112.1, so he was suffering a lot on his on down the straight with the less power. But it looks like Magic Mass has obviously made a overtake on Dado, because Dado's made a mistake somewhere.
Yeah, it's well down now, Dado Racer.
Oh, so here we go. I've actually gone wide. We just didn't pick that up, so out of onto the back straight. Picking up some damage, so Ernst Van Gore makes up a nice position into fourth position.
And Bo Kane has also gotten up into 6th place, so Stubbs Lachlan has dropped back as well.
So into the pit side visit, get some repairs done, early pit stop. So yeah, so Bo Kane. At this stage, he looked fairly strong, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He's on the lead lap. He's doing consistent, looks like 12s, 11s there. I wonder where their engine was tuned to as well. We've got Stubbs in the pits as well as yourself.
Yeah,
so 6th and 7th in. That's a shame for Stubbs. After surviving the first lap, carnage to be in 3rd.
I'd hate to tell you, but they're all in. Hyperden's in without the wing.
Brockbuster as well. Yeah, damn it.
And Brockbuster.
And look at that. Detective goes from 9th into 6th. As he learns a couple of things from my car.
Yeah, so Detective just falling a lap down now to you. So he's in between yourself and Magic Mass. So he's going to have his teammate coming up to him very shortly. So Magic Mass is definitely on a charge here. Now, equaling your lap time, that previous lap, just a little bit slower actually.
There was 3 cars in the 9s, 4 cars in the 9s last lap, the 4th being Dark GRRTV in 10th place.
Yeah, we've got to keep an eye on him because, as he said, he got involved with that incident, then he's gone into the wall, got some more damage, and he's got the pace, but yeah, those little incidents has really cost him in this race. He's kept that pace of the leaders right through, so it's probably a race that you probably would have been up a lot higher at this stage if those incidents didn't happen.
Looks like he's about to gain a position as well with 2 cars in the pit lane. Still. Oh no, here they come. One of them's Hyperden's out of the pit lane now. And Lachlan's moving now too. But anyway, that's all to play for him. They're not only down the other end of the straight.
Yeah, Chemo Code, this is he's starting to get to the grips of AMS2 as well and sim racing. So he is a mate of Bo Kane's, so hence why they're in both the Penske liveries.
Oh, brilliant. It's good to have him here and a few other new guys, like you said before. Ernst is new to our league and Hyperden's making a return. Stubbs Lachlan only joined us last season in the V8 Supercars as well.
Yeah, building on the community here at AMS for AMS2 definitely is what we're after. And it's a fairly intense season here for the IndyCars. We're doing basically 70%, 70-75% full race distances. And so it's given us a race time of around about 70 to 75 minutes for each round. So it does get tiring, doesn't it? Reflecting on what we've just experienced on Sunday. Now we've had a couple of days watching this replay. It was very intense around these bumps of the streets here at Long Beach.
That's right. There was bumps. There was the cars were just a beast. There's not a lot of grip because of the bumps. Being smooth was your best friend, and you had to also. I don't know about the other guys, but I was thinking about my tires. I was thinking about my engine because having just flown over from the Nürburgring for this race to the United States, didn't get a lot of practice in. I was expecting to run the hard tire in very hot conditions, as you see Detective making a pass there on that's the number 10 Della Penna Brock-Harvey.
Yes, yeah, I think he was just putting a lap on him, but I was just pointing to him because he was the fastest man in the previous lap with a 1:08.9. He might have got held up a little bit there with Brockbuster, so that lap there 1:10, but the previous lap he was in the 1:08, so it was a fairly fast time by Detective. He's got that car settled down now.
And I was just about to say, Woody, those things playing on the back of my mind too. You had to keep your concentration in check here, because you can see that lap there, 1:10.6. There were many laps where I would, particularly this corner and turn 1, you run a little bit too deep in here, and you have to be prepared to take I can't think of that word today. Yeah. The escape road. You have to be prepared to go down there. You don't want to turn the corner and crash into the wall. So a few of those late 10s of mine were a bit too late on the brakes and pointed it straight down that escape road and stopping, almost coming to a stop to get that car turned across the mouth of the escape road. Unfortunately, yeah, costing a bit of time, but numerous times during the race, Woody, I did that. Back it up with an 8.8.
Yeah, it's a good reply there. Second faster than Magic Mass that time around, and this is a great battle that not many of us would have seen because you guys were basically putting laps on everyone, and it's great to see this on replay, how this all unfolded because, yeah, as you said, you're managing these tyres, the engine wear, everything like that, and the traffic at the same time. There was a lot to think of, and then just get your brake wrong by just a few metres, and you know that these cars were susceptible to lockups and put a lot of wear of those tyres. And as you said, those escape routes, sometimes you had to take those pretty deliberately and just to protect those tyres.
But is this one of the most fun races I've ever done? Yes.
Oh, I have to agree. Like this circuit, it's such a quick lap, as you can see, 1:08 around concrete as well in these high-powered cars. I don't know how they do these and even the IMSA series around here for a long period of time. It must be so draining.
Oh yeah, but they're also professionals and they're fit. Oh, there we go. There's an example right there.
Yeah, exactly. And the car just there, I think that might have been...
That was Bo-Kane.
Bo-Kane. He almost could have gone on with it, but he just thought, he probably realised. And this is where smart drivers sort of avoid some incidents too. He might have seen on his Delta how close Magic Mass was to you as well, so he didn't want to get involved in a bit of argy-bargy and protect his own race at the same time.
I was very happy that it was Detective behind me and he was a lap down. Even though they're teammates, I don't think they were racing like they were teammates. With Detective deciding he wanted to stay where he was and doing a bit of the 17-year-old Max Verstappen strategy at the Monaco Grand Prix, where he follows the leader past the blue flags and makes up places. But he's up to 5th place already, is Detective, actually having just that exact reason there. Bo-Kane, that was pole position on the last lap in the fountain section. I don't know if Bo realised.
Yeah, so that's exactly what would have caught him out, and that's why Detective was so strong there. He's a hard charger of a racer, but sometimes he needs to try and think about keeping that in check as well. because you know you can be over aggressive and it can sometimes be a downfall as well. But look, he's a talented driver, and you can just see there he's the fastest man on the track that time around with a 109.8, making a move at the same time on Bo.
I think it's going to be a great championship all throughout the field, to be honest. But it looks like the pace of the Newman Haas racing cars and the Team Cools and Target Chip Ganassi is going to be exciting to watch and be a part of.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Dado Racer, I think he's going to have that stability run all the time. It's one of those drivers that if he doesn't get that bad luck of being taken out or anything like that, he's just going to be there in the top 5, you know, probably maybe even top 6 if the grid starts to grow. And I think that you'll find Dark Gra TV will be the real chaser, because I think, to be honest, Darky's probably going to be the outright raw pace speed of that Team Cool Green outfit.
I think so too. I think Darky will eventually get on top of the car, and he'll have the 1 lap pace probably. But I do know for a fact that Racer puts a lot of practice in. He's always on the practice server during the week, and it's that sort of practice that gets you the consistency week in and week out. Having just finished run, oh, that was close for Darky at turn 1. As you can see, Dark did a 9.9 on his last lap. But yeah, consistency throughout the last championship in the V8 series. He didn't win as many races as Night Havoc, but he was scored more podiums. I think he was on the podium most rounds, but he picked up a big win at Bathurst, but it just wasn't enough for him to lift the crown over Night Havoc.
No, it wasn't. But yeah, I think Darky's was really thankful for his teammate too, because Darky was spending a lot of time over on iRacing for the Nürburgring 24-hour and the Nordschleife 24-hour, and I believe that this setup was actually from Dado. So as he said, exactly what he does, he's in the practice server a lot, Dado. Tinkers around with the car and just fine-tunes these little things just to eke out that little bit more performance. And he loves a nice, confident car race setup as well. He doesn't like it too risky. He likes a car that will see him to the end, to the distance as well. And as we know, Cirrus, what's our motto here at ANZCRL?
Never give up.
That's pretty it. And it's good to see at the moment all 12 starters are still going. Camo Code, learning his craft out here, still circulating as well, getting valuable experience out there. And just a brush of the wall, which, as we said, with that low scale damage, didn't really affect the cars, but if you came on at a good angle, you'd start picking up a little bit of damage on your suspension and front aero.
We're on lap 22 here. So about a third of the way through the Grand Prix, it'd be around the time the 2 stoppers would be thinking about stop, as Camo lets Woody Lizard through. He's obeying the blue flags well, and I believe that was Ernst Van Gore as well, coming past in 4th place, doing another great job, consistent job. Like I said, we don't know much about him, but he seems to be very safe and capable.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job, and as we said, he's from over in Switzerland, I think it was.
But Detective is catching him at a rate of knots, as the leaders are only just a few seconds behind him there. 12.7 from Ernst, and Detective's in the 9s.
All right, we'll go back up to the front here. Oh, there's a wing that's just been deposited there from one of the Marlboro cars, and it's the number 3 of Camo Code. So he's just letting the traffic go through, but it's going to get very excited.
Sorry, Woody Bocane in the pits from 6. As we see the gap between the, don't know if this doesn't look like any damage, but it could be scheduled as well. But Magic Mass has closed right up onto the back of Commander Cirrus there. This is the closest it's been. Obviously, that second car in the train is the 5th place car of Detective 209, who, as I was saying before, wasn't that keen to let his teammate pass and have a crack at me. But that strategy ultimately did pay off in the end, because he was able to... well, yeah, actually I won't spoil it, but yeah. I
We're watching the
almost did that.
replay here. Yeah, so the beautiful thing of we've already been there, we've already lived it, but we're bringing it back here now to the viewers. And if you want to get on board here with the series and you're in Australia, New Zealand, even if you have other parts of the world and you can make it on a nice early Sunday morning if you're in the northern part of the world, make sure you check us out at our website. You can see all the links here on our Twitch and also where this will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. So give us a look and we'll be happy to see some more drivers, preferably Australia and New Zealand, just to keep the ping levels nice and strong. But right now, I think Magic Mass really would like to see his teammate probably yield and obey these blue flags and let him try and attack yourself here at this stage.
Pretty evenly matched, but yeah, any closer and it's on the border of being properly held up. As Cirrus must have made a mistake on the last lap, a 10.6 versus a 9.4 from both of the Newman Haas cars. It was a pretty late call to switch the strategy around too, as being over in Germany with Dark GRR for the Nürburgring 24 on iRacing. Didn't realise the race was going to be a lot colder. So, late change of the soft, and I was unsure about how long the tyres would last.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it was there, because as you can see, the track temperature only 25 degrees, and when we were doing the practice, it was in the 40s, and yeah, the soft tyres were, very hard to do, a lot of laps on, and we just thought the 63 laps, how are we going to get through with maybe only one stop on the soft? So it worked out in the end. I think for most drivers, only stopping once. I originally had planned for 2 stops on the softs.
I was planning on 1 stop on the hards until I rocked up on race day. That's a good onboard camera, Woody. I like when we're behind the back car of the train and you get to see the drama. Actually, this will be for position. You've caught onto a good spot. This is Ernst in 4th place.
That's it, yeah.
In front
Detective.
of Cirrus and Detective there as well. And I think, unlike Darky before or Bo came, maybe, actually Darky was on cold tyres. Let's have a look. Ernst places his car well here to let me through and to try and keep Detective behind, but unfortunately he just has the exit, doesn't he? And unfortunately not much of a battle at all, as he realizes that the 2nd place car of Magic Mass is behind him now.
Just have a look on the helmet cam of Ernst, all the way from Switzerland. He had this special camera set up for all his hometown people there. And you can just see that I think he was just down a little bit on power, as we were saying. He just didn't have the turbo wound up.
Look at these shift lights. He's shifting at the green.
Yeah, maybe just protecting the engine too, knowing that at this stage, Brockbuster was still going. We did have a problem with Brock eventually with his turbo.
I think his car to be long and short shifting as well, looking at that.
You can see the wheel work that the drivers have to do around here. The cars are very nervous over the bumps. So Brockbuster, he's finally got himself in a rhythm though at this stage in position 9, doing 1 minute 13s, which is, respectable times, mid-pack sort of times there.
He's got Hyperden not far behind him, just coming through turn 1. That's his closest rival. Unfortunately, Dark's a lap
Oop.
ahead of him at the moment. Oh! I don't know if he kept it out of the wall there.
Yeah, not too sure, but that's what we're just saying, how just once you lock up those wheels, the cars really did understeer. It's a very fine line around here. Not much grip on the circuit. Being a street circuit on a normal day.
700, I don't know how much horsepower actually, but hundreds of horsepower in the rear of that thing. Those huge tyres.
Yes, your teammate Hyperden's obviously making inroads on Blockbuster. It was basically 3 seconds the lap was faster that previous lap. So let's compare the lap times now, because there's not much in it between the two. As
faster than me last lap.
Brock just goes over the start-finish line with a 1:14 and a Hyperden of 1:10.4. So again, 4 seconds faster. And we're on lap 28 of 63.
A lot of cars on the main straight right now. Sorry, I just have a look at the map. That's where all the action is.
Yeah, leading by myself here at this stage. Knowing that some fast cars are starting to come up. I knew that the yourself was coming with a big battle with Magic.
You've got Bo Kane. I think you might have jumped him in the pits before, but he's not too far back as well.
Yeah, this is where I thought at this stage of the race, me and Bo were going to have a really hard slog to the end, but I think we'll see what happens in the end. I think Bo may be starting to find some issues with his car at the same time, but here we are here. Nice little spot here, knowing I could just let you guys through. So away you go, and I think it was, I was muddled up there. I thought that was Magic Mass originally, right behind you, but obviously it wasn't. It was Detective. So again,
I think everyone thought it was Magic.
Yeah, exactly. So Magic obviously got me down the main starting straight, I think it was. Or maybe not. I might have kept into it actually and waited for a while. Let's have a look to see when I let him through. But Hyperden looks like he's getting right near the stage of being able to get on the back of Blockbuster up ahead now.
10 on the last lap. He's lapping those consistent 10s, which I'm sure he'll be happy with, and the team was definitely happy with. That's good pace. As you can see, he's quite quicker than a lot of the cars up in the positions ahead of him. Unfortunately, he's just a bit too far down at the moment. I think that's about 3 laps down. Ooh, people want to make it more closer than that, but he's caught the back of that's Blockbuster there. Yeah, sorry, I thought we were chasing one of the Penske cars for some reason.
Yeah, no, so he's doing a great job there, and Magic Mass is obviously just getting a little bit held up, I think, with some traffic at this stage as well. It was probably myself there, but look at the 3 wide. Don't you mind about that down the straight? I'm trying to pick up Detective actually, as you're trying to get past Stubbs.
Yeah, Stubbs Lachlan in the 36 All-American Races Toyota engine Reynard chassis car. As look how close Detective was now.
I think really what he was trying to do, because he's obviously got the pace there, I think he was really hoping to get in front of you, and then if there's a possible safety car, he'll obviously then be back on the lead lap. So, you know, I don't think you can take this away from what he's doing. He's not poking the nose in dangerously here at this stage, but I tell you what, he's definitely putting a lot of pressure of you needing to think what might be happening behind you there.
Honestly, couldn't care less about what he was doing behind me. I wasn't going to fight him, but I wasn't going to let him through. If he put a move on me, I would have let him have it quite easily, but I wasn't, being only a few seconds up from Magic, I wasn't just going to lie down and take it. So then in the pits, both the Ganassi car, oh, and a Hyperden. Even I look crabbing too.
Yeah, this is probably the game there. You're definitely not crabbing, that's for sure. But early pit stop for yourself there, lap 30. Oh, it's not really 32, half race distance basically. How's the
I
safety
did
car? An old BMW there. Look at the sticker on it.
on
Says
the
"Follow
E30.
me."
I love it. But four tires and a lot of fuel. Um, very close to a full tank actually. Again, the team just a bit unsure and panicked a little bit at the end there, and just put a bit more in than they ended up needing actually. But there was no lingering question of fuel at the end, so something I didn't have to think about.
So it came out in clear air, and all you have to do is think about this man now, Dado Racer, who we haven't seen much of since the start of the race.
Well, I was actually thinking about how much time I would lose on the cold tyres compared to Magic Mass, because unfortunately, in this series and most of the V8 series, the overcut was the way to go to do it. The tyres took a little while to warm up, even in the Long Beach conditions as well.
Oh, it was car 10 Hyperden coming out of the pits there. I think he may have had the cold tyres. I suffered that as well. Ran wide coming out of the pit entry into turn 1. Just went to go the brakes and didn't quite get the bite.
Stubbs Lachlan is in again, unfortunately, but this might be scheduled. As that was Blockbuster letting through the race leader now, Magic Mass, who's done an 8.9 on his last. That was the first 8 I've seen from him so far. 42.6 for Cirrus on his outlap. I'll try and remember that.
Yeah, let's compare what Magic does on his outlaps. So 42.666.
But the gaps, or I've seen it on 32 before. It's out to 35 now on the second lap of on Cirrus's second lap. So the gap's increased.
And Magic seemed like he was comfortable to stay out for a while here.
I didn't have the car fully fueled. I went as long as I could because of the fuel. I would have continued had not been. But now it's released Detective. He's now on the lead lap again.
Yeah, so this is where Detective obviously wanted to try and obviously stay in front if he could to Magic Mass, hoping, praying for a safety car right now to be able to go right around and stay on this lead lap. But just hanging onto the lead lap at this stage, but it's not too long here. His teammates really pushing, wanting to make this position. Well, it's not a position, just an overtake to then have nice clear track in front of him.
11.9 for Cirrus's first full flying lap, so he's dropped another 2.5 seconds on the last lap.
He's a Bo Kane at the moment, just travelling just in front of Darky. So this is for position 7. And Darky looks like he's got down the inside actually. So there he goes. So Darky's made the move onto the back straight. Nice and clean. He was absolutely flying. Yeah. Bokane, whoa, but then he hits the wall. See, this is the moment that I was just saying before, that just locking up a tyre. Yeah, that just understeers when you go pushing too hard into these corners.
Let's have a quick look at my car there, third place as well.
Oh, again, just going a little bit too deep into turn 1. I think someone was coming out of the pits too at the same time. Oh, it is camo code.
Yeah, that was a bit awkward. I wasn't sure if he knew I was there or... But that's alright, we got through there.
Yeah,
but just the brakes, unfortunately. I did a 9 flat on the last lap, so I finally picked up the pace and as Detectives in the pits, but yeah, that'll do it. Straight off down the escape road there, and the sense to just hold it straight and go into it. I didn't try and turn it in. I thought maybe I could get it turned across the face, but as it turns out I couldn't. A flick spin would have been the better option. Ernst Van Gore and Dark in the pits as well.
Yeah, Dark, as we saw, he had that damage probably from hitting the wall when he made that position on Bo Kane. and had to come back into the pits for that repair. So he's out now.
Data Racer also in from second place.
So just schedule.
And
So
the
again,
27 Dario Franchitti's old car. Now Dado's.
that's it. So that little mistake there could be very costly in the end there from turn one there with a 122. So there's about 12 seconds you lost in that mistake. So at the time, you don't realise how much time you are losing. It's just all about trying to get back into the rhythm. But 12 seconds is 12 seconds. And then when both you and Magic are lapping similar, that's a lot of time to try and make up 12 seconds.
Yep, I did know that I would gain a little bit back now with him having to do 2 laps on the cold tyres. But yeah, unfortunately, that's racing, isn't it?
It sure is, and at the moment you're just coming down the back straight, about to hit the corner there. As you're coming into the corner now, as Magic's now exiting pit lane, he's still got a little bit to travel. So you're not too far behind him at the moment. Pretty much, as you can see now, the number 1 on the map is just going into turn 1, and you've just started the starting straight. So we'll have a look to see what Magic Max's outlap was. What did you have, a 44.666 or something like that?
42.6, I think it was. Straight over the hump two's Magic. I noticed myself and Detective were driving a little bit straighter off that corner and going around the hump in the middle of the street there. Just broke the car way too often.
Yeah.
I've made it really unstable. Ernst Van Gore, 41.6 for his outlap. Detective a 38.5, so...
Just up in front here, there was a car. I think that was Stubbs, pointing the wrong
Stubbs.
way.
44.3, so a lot of fuel went into Magic's and Sirius's car, and you can see the gap before. Detective was just in front of Magic, and now there's about 5 seconds or so between the two, as we see Stubbs without a rear wing. Unfortunately, he's found the wall again.
Yeah, there's a few wings all around, deposited around this track throughout this race, that's for sure.
Yeah, but about a 6-second difference in the outlap times between the two Newman Haas cars, which has shown, now given Detective 209 a bit of breathing space and staying on the lead lap as he looks to make up 34 seconds on Dado Racer ahead of him.
Yeah, so obviously he's got some lap traffic coming up as well, but as he said, just eyes forward to try and stay on this lead lap, and if only he could have seen a safety car, he might have been a threat too to this the podium, this race.
That's right. Had he not had the damage at the start, he would, without a doubt, been racing for the podium, possibly even for the win.
Yeah, but the way we reversed out of that situation just here in this part of the circuit, he would have smacked the rear wing of his car anyway on the wall by the look of it.
Yep.
He was full throttle on the reverse.
But now, yeah, so that gap to about 10 seconds now that after things have heated up for the 2 leaders. I think it was down to 8, but oh yeah, there it is now, just under 9. Between first and second, as we're looking at Rockbuster 29 in the number 10 Budweiser. Della Penna Motorsports Swift Ford Cosworth.
Yeah, so nice livery there. I can remember back in the day we've seen the Budweiser all-red Indycar.
Just lifts off the throttle to let the number 1 target Chip Ganassi car through, the Honda.
Yeah, and on the chase towards Magic Mass if you can, and this 8-second gap was around there for a while, as we could see when you had Detective behind you and Magic behind him before your pit stop. the gap never changed really. You were lapping pretty much closely together the whole time.
Yeah, and the traffic did actually play a big part of it. You can see on the mini map on the top right that Magic is in a bit of it at the moment. He's got a few more cars to go compared to me, so I should be able to get some clean laps in now. But you know, when it's my turn for all that, it just goes the other way. There's 23 laps to go. It's that bump in the middle. I don't know if you saw it there, as I was talking about before. I kept it really shallow then. Oh no. Hyperden.
What happened with Hyperden?
He's got the nose caved in, but he's
Oh,
continuing.
yeah. He's got the side of the nut, yeah.
We build him strong over at Target.
They sure
Stayed
do.
on the car.
Their clothes will outlast anyone else's, eh? At Target. So he's Dado. He just put a lap on Ernst. So one thing that I did mention during the race, after the race at least, was the netcode between us and Ernst all the way from Switzerland was actually pretty good, even though he was very low on the connection. Things were pretty good with him on track.
I think we've got a problem down at turn 1. He's got going now. It was camo code.
Camo code.
He's got going again.
Doesn't look like he's had any issue there. Maybe was he pulling up maybe for some cars or?
I just heard he's idling engine and dot was stopped at turn 1. Sorry to interrupt you there before.
That's all right.
As Hyperden steadying through, I think that was Magic Mass.
Yeah, Magic Mass taking the a lap on him, or putting him a lap down again. And credit to the creators of these livery packs too that you can get on Overtake GG on the website for the 1998 Indycar Kart Series. Absolutely sensational with all the placement of the sponsor logos and everything like that. But everyone was issued with white helmets. Back in the day, in 1998, there was no advertising allowed or designs on the helmets by the looks of it. I believe this man here, Brockbuster, he designed his own helmet, which we'll have to try and see if we can get a livery file of his helmet, because he's gone to the effort to do a custom helmet.
Oh, it's the wrong cool car. I thought for a second that that's positioned Bocane Darky, but it's actually Dado Racer just ahead there.
Yeah, sure is. The camo code. Actually,
No,
that's Bocane. Yeah, Bocane.
Yep. But as you can see, there's always, we've got a good range of competitive pace out there, as it looks like Commander Sirius sets his fastest lap of the race on lap 43 there at a 1:08.7. But yeah, there's plenty of range of talent through the field, so if you're new and you're thinking about it, there's always someone to race.
Yeah, for sure, and learning at the same time is one of those things that is really good to learn these different cars, because I really think the open wheelers on AMS2 makes the game just worthwhile. I think it's where the game really does shine, with all these open wheel cars that they've got out there. A lot of DLC cars, basically all these are DLC, so you need to have the Racing USA number 2 pack, I believe it is part 2, to get the cars. But then the tracks will be always there for you. As long as someone's got the track, you can race. So at least on race night, you'll be able to get access to all the tracks throughout the season. You'll just need the cars, that's the only thing.
That's the other thing you bring up too, is the learning of the cars. Don't get disheartened by some like the front running pace out there. You learn quicker and better when you're racing with the fast guys.
Oh, you sure do. You learn from them. You learn their lines at the same time as well. As Bo Kane, so this is where with myself in 6th position, this is where I made a sigh of relief when I saw Bo Kane go in the pits there, which I think was just a scheduled stop.
But Dark GR is rubbing his hands together now. He's just come out onto the main straight.
Yeah, and that's the next person then, but that I was worried about, because the pace that Darky had was fairly rapid.
Yeah, 3 seconds alone on the last lap on you, but what have we got there? A 30-second gap to make up.
Yeah, at this stage I was coming, where was I doing? I was coming down the main straight. Actually into the pits I was. So this was a scheduled stop for myself as well to get the last lot of
Funny
fuel.
that doesn't have in the pits for you there. Oh, there it is, finally, when you're in your box. Look at that shot at the, oh, his car's gone now, but above the ambulance in the background there.
Yeah, the car's coming back along. That's pretty cool.
Right? Yeah.
And watch here, the guys lock up, and I've gone too deep. And at the same time, Dado goes wide as well. Oh, and he actually touched the wall.
There's also some more drama out there. Brockbuster has retired from the race.
Yeah, I believe it was a turbo that went on him as well, so he got turbo damage. So that was the end of Brock, unfortunately. So it's pretty good up to there. Lap 46, we still had 12 runners in the race, and at this stage here, Magic just put another second on yourself, I think it was, on this lap.
By looks of that.
But it was just seesawing the whole way. It was either 6 seconds, 7, 6, 5. Oh, I don't think it got down to 5 in this second stint, but every time I was driving, I could just see it around that 6, 7. Got to 8 seconds.
Yeah, it ran a good pace all race long, as did Dado and Detective as well. And also in the 8s for Detective too. Yeah, had it not been for that mistake, things might have been different.
Yeah, so Darky here going pretty hard, as we can see, basically lapping in those 111s, 110s he was doing. Just trying to get traction out of the final corner.
Just going back to that spin for Dado cost him quite a bit of time on that lap. Did a 23, so if he's about 13 seconds. So now the gap between Dado and Detective, 3rd and 4th for the podium. It's only about only about 17 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. So there's it is. So that's a 13 seconds for just running wide at turn 1. So that's all it's going to take for Detective to then be right on the back of Dado to try and get onto the podium. What a storming drive it has been from Detective.
Wait, he's lapping too. He'll be there in no time. 15 laps to go in the race. Lap 47. We've got Hyperden back in the pits. And Stubbs Lachlan has done enough laps to jump him up into 10th.
So
it's a shame for Stubbs, the damage. Sorry, just to interrupt you there. But yeah, after his run at Monaco, and he's qualified 7th, I think it was.
Yeah, he did excellent at Monaco with his qualifying.
And to be in 3rd place on the first lap as well.
So you can see here, Darky just had that. He's had those few little moments, but again, 2 seconds. Oh, not quite 2 seconds. You say probably a second and a bit. 1.1 second faster than myself. And this is where I could start feeling the heat from Darky. Definitely, with the amount of laps to go. I knew that I had to try and make sure that my run was faultless in this final stint.
108.4 from Magic Mass on the last lap. He is flying right now. You've brought that gap down too as well, an 11.7. If you can lap, it doesn't have to be fast laps. It just needs to be consistent laps. Will find you a result in this championship.
Oh, exactly. You know, if you can manage that car and avoid the spins, the off-track excursions, you're definitely going to get a good result.
We have another street circuit on the calendar too. Maybe not as bumpy, but it's even more narrow in my opinion, and that's Adelaide. Ah, yes, you also take a lot wider line through there,
Yep.
avoiding that hump in the middle of the road.
Yeah, it's not a very pleasant feeling, that the hump.
Yeah, the car gets all squirrely over that. You can easily find yourself in the wall on the left-hand side. Can't remember the street name. I used to know it.
Is it lane? Oh, not. Oh, I can't remember either. We'll see if we can pick it up here.
Bocane now in the Penske number 2.
There's Chestnut Place and Queen Mary.
Queen Mary is actually in the background of this circuit. I've actually stayed a night on that ship. As a hotel.
Bay Street.
I think so.
Pine Avenue. We got Pine Avenue.
Pine, that's it. I was thinking
Avenue.
Vine, but I was like, that doesn't sound right.
So Dark again, still lapping the same pace as the top 4, doing a 109.8. So
Dialed in, but I'm sure he'll be dialed in for the next round. And actually, I think he will be a force to be reckoned with on these oval tracks. Darky's probably the most experienced in the field at racing on ovals, having spent most weekends since moving over to iRacing, racing a NASCAR of some kind.
yeah, he's been definitely loving all that sort of style of racing.
Also a 2 or maybe 3-time Indycar, Indy 500 champion in our league as well, and having won the Triple Crown as well.
Yeah, he sure has. And one thing that we're going to, I think, well, we've only just actually announced it, ANZCRL as well on the website and on our Discord, that for the ovals we're going back to the way that we used to run them, and we're going to have our manual safety car call, so we can allow some lucky dog laps back as well, just for the ovals only. And so that way there, if a car or more cars get involved in an incident and gets damaged and they call a safety car, the virtual safety car will happen. The cars will run right to the end of that lap. They'll race to the end of the lap. Once they cross the start-finish line, whoever's in first at that time will then become the virtual safety car, and they'll engage their pit limiters, and we'll get everyone filed up single file. And the safety car will last for 3 laps maximum, or they will be 3 laps regardless. And the cars that actually called the safety car, they all require to pit for damage repair, and anyone else can actually pit at the same time. And then once cars get up to the queue, and if they're a lap down, they're able to then release their pit limiter and then pass safely the queue and make their way around the circuit to hopefully join the back of the queue before the racing resumes. It's been a good
He's
system.
in behind. Yeah. He's in behind the back of Magic Mass as Darky, and he's doing the same pace as him.
Yeah.
Actually, no, he just did the drop, let him through then, but yeah.
So Ernst van Gore, I think, is about to fall another lap down. He's just in front of these 2.
He is. He finds himself in a bit of no man's land at the moment, actually right smack bang in the middle of Detective and Woody Lizard, approximately a minute 15 ahead and behind both of those. And that's where you want to be. He'll pick up points for 5th place, and he doesn't have to push. He's done the hard work. He's found himself in a position to just bank some early points and take it on to the next round, learn the car a little bit, maybe turn that turbo up next time, or who knows, and the different gearing. But he might run with this philosophy again, who knows.
Yeah, well, the next round obviously at Rio, which is a weird type of oval, like a tri-oval in a way, but still got 4 corners. I think you're going to have to try and have that maximise those turbos. So otherwise, I think you'll get eaten alive down the straights.
It's the only car that I can see on the entry list running the Reynard chassis Ford engine. We've got the Ford engine inside the two Penske Lolas as well as the two Newman Haas Swifts. But the only car with that engine chassis combination.
Yeah, okay.
Unfortunately, didn't see any of the three Mercedes-Benz cars we've got entered in the entry list in this race.
Have a look at the top 7 lap times that previous lap around. You've got 109s, 111s and 110s. So it's pretty hotly contested there for the top 7.
It's looking pretty cleansed at this stage. Camo code back in the pit lane.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a rough start, obviously, but look, I give him a lot of credit getting right to the end. And as you said, he would have learned so much from that as well, just how the cars are reacting. And you're probably not going to get a more bumpier circuit than this one anyway.
That's true, and I just chuckled then because I can see a Mercedes badge on the front of that car.
It sure is.
But it's running the Ford engine this time around.
Yeah, so anyway, that's probably an oversight from someone who did deliveries there, but
that's okay. I just had a chuckle.
Well,
look at the top two sit the two exact same lap time on the last lap.
Yeah, amazing. So what have we got now? We're left on the charts, just getting close, 54 of 63. So 10 laps or 9 laps remaining.
8 seconds between Dado Racer and Detective 209. The gap's come down by 10 seconds since Dado's spin, and Detective just putting in late 8, early 9 every lap here.
Oh, riding up near the garden too, Detective.
If you can get it right, yeah. If you can get it right, it's faster.
Sure is, but if you ride it too high, it can really cause some troubles as well.
Yeah, unsettles you, bounces around a bit. Just trying to see what other battles we might have going on here. Definitely Detective to Dado is the closest on track. We've also got Dark GR closing in on the back of Woody Lizard as well. But the gap still looks to be a bit too... Yeah, it is. It's a bit too much as Woody Lizard's going down Shoreline Drive. I just looked up the street name of the main straight.
Yeah, but all it takes is one mistake. As you can see, I don't know if you can actually see, there's quite a few little flat spots starting to appear on my tyres as well from the lock-ups.
That's incredible detail.
So I copped a real big one when I came out of the pits, and you can see that front left was locking up a lot, and I was managing that. I could almost watch the tyre had to start dropping on the front left.
That's amazing. I didn't know that they'd done that for Automobilista too, but wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah, so you just need to lock up a little bit more, Cirrus, and you might start seeing them yourself.
I'm good, thanks. Man, your front tyres must be like a 50-cent piece.
Yeah, it was marking around quite a little bit actually on the steering wheel
even on the track cameras now. I didn't notice that before.
Yeah, it was actually
surely you couldn't be the only one.
Oh, I don't know. Hopefully I'm not the only one, but you got the teammates here coming through. Oh, camo code straight into the wall. Let's have a look to see if there's anything on Stubbs. It looks like his tyres are okay. could be one of those ones too. When you look at your replay, it could just be the on the actual user as well.
True, but you said you were locking them heaps, and you were on the replay. Not really seeing anyone else lock too much. So watching Dado Racer going past Bocane. Now Bo, he's had a bit of a quiet one. It's just down there in 8th place. The Penske number 2.
Yeah, but look, I think he just had a couple of extra unscheduled pit stops, I think, that ended up costing him a good result, because I think that he had the pace at that mid part of the race. He was slowly catching me, but as you can see, he started to make a few mistakes as well, and his lap times were a little bit slower. But this gets a little bit exciting here with Darky needing to come into the pits here. So Bocane
For a fastest lap attempt. 4 laps to go. Point on for fastest lap and for pole position.
Yeah.
He doesn't lose the position by doing so. I've watched my fair share of Formula 1.
There you go. So yeah, he was looking for the fastest lap, obviously, coming in, trying to see if he can bang it. He did have the pace to the leaders, that's for sure.
He almost got there. I think he did a... I know, we'll keep an eye on his lap times. I think I remember what he did. And look, if you click on the timings, I think it is. No, it's not there, is it? To see the lap board, but that's all right. This must be only for the live.
Yeah, they don't actually quite have it.
That's all right. Magic Mass leads by 6.5 seconds. I think the top 2 have used a bit of their tyre up, now back into the 10s. But Detective's still punching out 8 and 9s.
Yeah, he's smashing it. He could see that he was slowly wasn't slow. Well, I guess he was slowly catching Dado. He's like half a second each lap, pretty much. But laps were running out on him. But, you know, Dado's just coming around the final corner now, so it was only these few corners that he's behind. So there will probably be little times that he actually got to see Dado as well. Possibly down this straight, maybe not right now because he's just past the curb, but he would have been starting to get excited.
I got excited every time I saw Magic Mass's car down. I think it was Seaview Drive. The back straight. Got Stubbs in front of me there. It's the car that's up the road.
So at this point here too, with 3 laps remaining, it was all like, how were you feeling at this stage? Like we obviously trying to put in the laps because you were a bit faster than Magic, but what was your thoughts?
Well, I seemed to be closing the gap, but the car didn't feel fast at all. Every time I saw the gap, like now it's 7 bit seconds at this point, I got excited. And I was going to give it some, maybe he's running out of fuel, maybe he's lost, his engine's almost gone, because my engine was quite damaged at this point, but every time I try and push, the rear end would step out, and I didn't think I gained on him at all, but yeah, it was really actually at this point seeing win it or bin it if the engine goes kaput, or if I could close that gap, thinking he might be nursing the car for the last 3 laps of this race, as Stubbs lets me through there at the hairpin.
Yeah, you were struggling by the looks of it to get power on too out of the exit of that final corner, but once you got it, definitely building momentum up through here, getting the 300 kilometres an hour before you hit the brakes.
Yeah, getting the power on out of turn 1 as well was a bit draw. Actually, out of all the corners, it was tricky. You have to wait for it a little bit. You have to be off the throttle, let that thing turn, and there, look at that. Ease that back down. Your right foot is your best friend.
Yeah, a bit like the V8s that we've been used to, but these things have a lot more power too, and can flip you around a lot quicker, I think.
I think so. I think these were harder.
Oh, what a save!
You can see what I mean. You try and push it, and that's what happens. You have to really keep a calm, controlled head on you.
So 2
An
more laps to
8.6 for
go.
Ducky. An 8.6 is the lap he did. It's just a bit shy from Magic's 8.4 earlier in the race.
Yeah, so absolutely flying to try and get that bonus point.
Low fuel, new tyres. Yeehaw. But yes, Magic Mass, I believe he's on his last lap. I think there was a timing error during the race. It showed we were a lap shorter than we actually were. So I didn't just in case this is the last lap, watch the lead across the line.
Yeah, I think I forget how it changes here. So we got here that's saying it's lap 62. So I don't know if that means he's completed 62 laps. So this would be his 63rd or what. So
yeah, we'll see at the end of this lap, I suppose. But he's still put in the 9.3s. As you can see, my error cost me a second and a half. But the gap now between Dado and Detective is now only 7 seconds. But he's just going to run out of laps as Detective 209.
yeah, I think he's got
Havoc
another
rounds,
lap.
Havoc.
I think he's got
Magic
another lap,
rounds
to
the
be
last
honest.
corner.
Yeah. Because I was still in front of him here because I was trying to stay only 2 laps down. So I was actually, you can see me up here in front. So this would be the last lap now. Because I was still in front of him on the last lap, and I'm just going, please, can I just make sure I don't get, that was my goal. And that's what I like to actually say to people when we always say never give up. You always set yourself different goals for the race when things aren't going right. And that was one of my goals, to only stay 2 laps down. And you can see I was really fighting hard. Well, I wasn't fighting him, but I was trying to just keep it straight, get the power on. And at this stage here, I just knew, he's going to get me here, so I had to let him through on the back straight.
Fair enough.
But it was like, oh, if only he lets me just, there was no challenging from you for the lead, and I thought, oh, just let me through, let me back through.
One of the goals I have when I started racing go-karts was just not to be last. That was my one goal. But I mean, obviously you have to start somewhere, and there was many times I did finish last.
They're talking about last to first. Here goes Magic Mass. He was the champion for race 1 here of the Indycar Championship. So well done to him. And Cirrus, congratulations for that second. You really brought the fight there. Led most of the race, probably led more laps than anyone, but just didn't quite get there in the end.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that turn 1.
Was it 32 laps? We probably both led 32, 31 for Magic.
That's right. He had went a bit longer than I did before pitting. But a great race from Dado there.
Yeah, it was actually a very cool, sorry the pun about the car, but it was very calm, collected type drive from the Statesman. And you can just see in the background there, Detective coming out of the final corner. And that wasn't that much in it in the end between himself and Dado, as Ernst comes home in 5th position, which was a good result for him. Celebrating with a nice little donut, creating a lot of smoke for everyone. And I believe the driver of the day was this man who just wants to just do burnouts in the end, doesn't really care about his equipment.
Well-earned driver of the day. He was in 12th for a bit at the start of that race, and managed to bring it home in 7th place.
Yeah, when I say driver of the day, I would have to say that it's the achievement award we give. Just to call out for the drivers that have done something fairly well, and the reason why he did get the achievement award was Darky's lap times was very comparable to the top 3. And the achievement award always goes to a driver that didn't finish on the podium. So, that's the reason why he got it, for his constant fast pace and incident-free as well, other than a few little mistakes on his own.
Detective and Ernst also have had great drives that race. Detective also being at the back, but he has that cloud hanging over him the first lap incident there. But Ernst van Gordon, a fantastic result, 5th place. He might have been one of the few cars to keep it out of the wall, and that's what earned him 5th place at the end of the day.
And that just really, like really explains what you're saying earlier. How you just have to, you don't have to be extremely fast either. You just got to have a nice, clean race. Still got to lap competitively in a way, but he was doing, probably when you look at it, about 2 to 3 seconds off the leader's pace, and he still finished in 5th position. So that's very good as well. So well, look like we'll probably
Yeah,
wrap
and
things up here very shortly. And we've got the calendar up here, Sirius. I'll quickly run through that, and then you can give us the last thoughts if you want. But next week on Sunday, our races are on the Sundays, is the Rio 280 at Jacapunga Historical Oval. As you can see, it's not quite an oval, but it's in the shape. It is in the spirit of an oval, but the banks is not quite up there either. So drivers are going to have to try and set up their cars to still get through these corners, but also have some straight line speed as well for the long straights. Then we're off to the airport over in Cleveland, the Grand Prix of Cleveland. What a circuit that is. And there's still calls for Indycars to bring back the race of Cleveland. To this day now, that the fans still want to see a return to Cleveland on that airstrip, because apparently it was a fan favourite. I've seen a lot of action on down the one side of the circuit where all the fans all congregated. Then we hit to our true oval, Gateway 300 at the WWT Raceway Oval. That's where we're going to start seeing some of the sign-up drivers that have come in just for the ovals. And that's just to prime us up, ready for the big one, which we have a week break before it, just so everyone can get some good practice in for the Indianapolis 500, which is part of our special events that we run throughout the year as well. And that's going to be a full 500-mile race, so 200 laps like they do in real life. So we're looking at a 2-hour 30 minutes to 2-hour 40, depending on the safety cars and how many we have. But in history, it's about a 2.5 hour race. And then we go back to the beautiful circuit at Road America, the Texaco Halvanine, probably one of the circuits we're going to see the smooth drivers on a fast circuit really shine here, and who can manage their tyres around that big turn of the carousel. Then we go to the ups and downs and the roller coaster ride of Grand Prix of Monterey at Laguna Seca on the 27th of July. Really looking forward to round 7 there. And then I think the one that Sirius, your fellow commentator here, really looking out for is round 8 at Adelaide, the Adelaide 200, trying to mimic a bit of the surfers when they came to Australia. But the best thing we could do was put in Adelaide, which is the GP circuit that they used to run back in the day. So it should be extremely fun seeing these Indy cars around there. And then we finish off on a super speedway oval at Fontana 500, which should be a very exciting race there as well for the final round of the series. So there you go, Sirius. Congratulations on your second, and obviously to Magic Mass for his win and Dado for his third. What's your thoughts on that opening round of this season?
That just looked fantastic, Woody. The cars, the circuit, the engine, the noise as well, and the action. There might not have been so much wheel-to-wheel racing in there, but I can tell you I had so much fun muscling that car around. My hands, my arms were sore after that. Bit of wheel weight in the wheel for me there, so it was really great to drive those around the streets of Long Beach, and just hearing the calendar there, that second half of the championship particularly have some fantastic races coming up. Particularly at Adelaide is one I'm looking forward to another street circuit. And while it's not quite Formula One, it's very Formula One-esque of the Adelaide days. Having only raced at Adelaide only 4 years prior to what our championship will be racing there. But and as a Gold Coast boy as well, I want to win that one as it's replicating the streets of my hometown.
Definitely. We can't wait for that one, but we've got a long way to go before then. So hopefully we can enjoy your company next time, and it would be even better to see you in your sim rig as well and racing alongside us on a Sunday night here in Sydney time in Australia at 7 p.m. And most of the races get done by 9 p.m. at night. So around 3 hours of racing. That includes practice and qualifying, and obviously time in the lobby and things like that. So make sure you try and join us, and we look forward to welcoming you if you do. Till next time, I've been your host, Woody Lizard, and Commander Cirrus. See you later.
Bye.